Alongside Amy Nay, I'm Brian Schnee. We begin Fox 13 News at 9 with breaking news of a homicide investigation in Salt Lake City.
Police have surrounded the area for about an hour now. It's where we find Fox 13's Spencer Joseph. Spencer, you ran right out to the scene. What have you learned?
Yeah, and we actually learned that there are 3 distinct scenes. There's 2 people who have been shot. One was declared dead on scene. The second was transported to the hospital in critical condition. I'll go ahead and step away so that you can see this scene. This is at 940 Emory Street in the Glendale neighborhood of Salt Lake City. This is where the person was found dead. A few blocks east of us is where that first scene is, where they believe all of this started between somebody that was walking along the street and another group of people in a car. There was gunshots exchanged. That car then left this scene to go down to the second scene you're taking a look at right now in this video. That's where we found one man who says somebody was laying on the sidewalk with gunshot wounds and he rushed over to help. Take a listen.
I was just going outside to have a cigarette, and as I approached the sidewalk, then I seen one guy crouched over to the guy on the floor, and I asked him if they're all right. And he said he just fell. So I approached him to help, and then he told me he got shot. The guy that was on the floor was shot. So then he started rolling around, and I told him just to lay still. He asked me to take off his sweater and his shirt, so I took it off, helped him take it off, and then I just used his sweater to apply pressure on his wounds.
So police do say that this is a complicated matter because there are 3 distinct different scenes. They're saying that communication between them is working very well right now, but they could be on scene of all 3 of those all night long. Now, that second scene where you just heard that man talking, that was the gentleman that was transported in critical condition. We know that that person is under the age of 18 and is a male. That's all the information that we have so far. But of course, this is an ongoing investigation, so police have asked us to relate to the public if they know anything or have seen anything to contact them immediately. We'll bring you any new breaking information on this throughout the night. But for now, live in Salt Lake City, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Yeah, very fluid situation there. Spencer, thanks.
Now on to COVID-19 numbers here in Utah. Another big story for us today. The record has been broken yet again. The Utah Health Department is reporting 5,352 new COVID-19 cases.
Today's number includes yesterday's backlogged positive cases, making today's number artificially higher by about 1,300 cases. But that would still make today's adjusted count more than 4,000 cases. There are now a total of 151,141 positive cases in Utah.
The lines to get a COVID-19 test across Utah seem to be long. This was the testing line earlier today at the Maverick Center. The health department says since yesterday, 17,544 more people have been tested for COVID-19. Sadly, 9 more people have died from the virus. The latest deaths include 3 men and 6 women. That brings the total number of people who have died from COVID-19 here in Utah to 710.
A spokesperson for Intermountain Healthcare telling Fox 13 that hospitalization and ICU volumes remain very high, fluctuating hour by hour. And it's not just for COVID patients, it's for everyone who needs high levels of care for traumas, heart attacks, cancers, and other illnesses. The statement goes on to say, quote, all of this combined is making volumes and hospitalizations unsustainable for Utah's health system. Tonight is the first Saturday night in the state that a last call of 10 p.m. is being enforced for bars.
And for bar owners, it's a 1-2 punch as the football game between the University of Utah and UCLA that was supposed to be happening right now on Fox 13 in California has been canceled. Before his breaking news report, Fox 13 Spencer Joseph spoke with the Green Pig Pub in downtown Salt Lake City about how all of this will affect their bottom line.
We thought we'd have more business in the hours we were open, but it just seems like people are afraid to come out now too.
For bars,
We have to cut staff now because, can't keep them on here, then they don't make anything.
it's a tough business to be in right now.
It just feels like they're kind of picking on the bars, We're trying to do everything we can, but then they just turn around and tell us no.
Here at the Green Pig, they've done a lot to help the coronavirus effort, using plexiglass to help protect patrons from others, or using their patio to social distance. But unfortunately, they've just had to close it for the season because of the cold, making things all the more difficult.
Because we're trying everything we can. We're making sure we're telling everybody they have to wear a mask. We have hand sanitizer all over the building.
Saturday night is the first weekend night that at 10 p.m., last call is being enforced. On top of that, the Utes-UCLA game was also canceled, which was supposed to draw crowds safely to hopefully make back some of these losses.
And we were really banking, all of our servers, our bartenders, everybody that works here, even our kitchen staff was banking on those hours that, we were going to have for the Utes game. We were supposed to be busy.
And employees are also nervous.
Rent's coming up real quick at the end of the month. Everybody's trying to figure out what they're going to do.
So with last week looking down for bars, the Green Pig is still trying to move forward and keep business afloat.
I would love to get back to a place where people feel comfortable coming into a bar and not having to worry about getting sick. It's been here over 10 years. We're trying to keep it going even more for another 10 years.
That was Spencer Joseph reporting. The Green Pig also telling us their owners have been great trying to help out their employees with anything they need during this tough time.
Talking politics right now, the race for Utah's 4th congressional district still not official, but one candidate is acting like it is.
Now, race been neck and neck since the get-go. Republican Burgess Owens has been in the lead for days now, and he's been reportedly seen in our nation's capital attending orientation for new members of the House of Representatives. Meantime, President Donald Trump congratulating Owens on Twitter and proclaimed him the victor of the race over Democratic incumbent Ben McAdams. But again, we do want to stress that the race has not officially been called.
Taking a look at where the numbers stand right now, McAdams trails Owens by about 2,100 votes. That is unchanged from last night's count. Owens is leading by about a half a percentage point. More ballots are being counted through Tuesday. Well, an unusual sight around Davis and Salt Lake counties today. The Division of Wildlife Resources says they received multiple calls from people finding dead or injured swans. DWR says in all, they've been called about 11 different swans. In Davis County, 4 swans were found dead. 1 was injured. In Salt Lake County, 2 swans were dead, 4 injured. DWR says they're now working to figure out what might be the cause.
I don't recall us ever dealing with a bunch of dead and injured swans, in a single period of time like this. We won't know until the lab is able to examine the swans, but we're wondering, might it have had something to do with some of that severe weather that we had in Davis County last evening?
DWR plans to take the injured swans to the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center of Northern Utah, while the swans that died will be taken to a lab on Monday to determine their cause of death.
Turning to your weather now with meteorologist Breck Bolton. And Breck, it seems like things are changing back to maybe where they should be after some early season snow in northern Utah.
That's right, at least getting back to where temperatures should be, but we do need the storms. We need the moisture. We got it once again last night through the early morning hours. We've been talking about that situation with the swans as thunderstorms rolled through portions of northern Utah between midnight and 2 a.m., producing lightning, thunder, gusty winds. This is a photo coming in from Taylorsville. Again, this hitting about 1 a.m. last night, taking out that fence, knocking down a tree. They had a couple of neighbors with a similar situation. So we had the winds, we had the thunderstorms, and we did get snow, at least through the higher terrain. Here's a view in Willow Creek, taking a look. Wasatch Mountains and the foothills, a dusting of snow moving up, though, in elevation. We got significant snow at some of the ski resorts. Let's take a look at some of those storm totals where we're focusing in on the snow, where extreme northern Utah getting a little bit in the valleys. North Logan coming in just over an inch of snow. Trenton about an inch. Bountiful near the benches at least close to an inch there. Cottonwood Heights about a half of an inch. Now we had a lot of rain throughout the valleys, anywhere from a quarter of an inch to about a third of an inch. Now Snow Basin, yeah, the winner here, 18 inches there. Summit Park 10.5 inches. Snowbird though coming in, Alta coming in with 14 inches of snow. So good news, again, building up that snowpack where we need it. And it looks like we're not quite done with the storm. We get a second wave as we're seeing a little bit of an impact just with the focus across northern Utah, central, southern, eastern Utah. You're enjoying clear skies. It'll be cold. A little light snow tracking through the Oquirrh Mountains potentially could produce some flurries as we look extreme southern end of the Salt Lake Valley. As we look upstream, though, again, additional snow on the way. Who gets hit for Sunday? I'll let you know coming up.
Thanks so much, Brad. Coming up, with a second coronavirus stimulus package seemingly nowhere in sight, see how some Americans could get some relief even before another stimulus check hits bank accounts.
And Utah's educators looking to get men to step up for local kids. We'll show you how when we come back.
As a lazy dog, I'm a flooring expert, which got me the gig as the Carpet One spokesdog. And I need to tell you about the Spillabration event. But I'm new to this, so I got my colleague to help.
Don't worry about spills. Save up to 50% on stain-resistant LVT, carpet, and hardwood during Giant Carpet One's Spillabration event. Save today.
This spokesdog contract practically fulfills itself.
All of your flooring needs in one place at Giant Carpet One Floor and Home.
Did you know that Geico's whole 15 minutes thing, that came from me? Really? My first idea was, in 1/4 of an hour, your savings will tower. Over you, figuratively speaking. But that's not catchy, is it? It's not going to swim about in your brain. So I thought, what about 15 minutes, 15%? Serendipity.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
One day we won't be asked to wear masks. One day we won't have to distance ourselves. One day we won't have to stay home from school. We won't have to take so many precautions or worry about the safety of our most vulnerable neighbors, friends, and family. One day, COVID-19 will no longer be a threat to our health and safety. When that day comes is up to you.
Welcome back. With no new coronavirus stimulus bill coming anytime soon, many Americans are approaching a financial cliff.
Their unemployment benefits are about to run out, eviction moratoriums are about to expire, and student loan relief will soon end. Alicia Nieves shows us potential relief that some could get, even if Congress remains at a deadlock on a stimulus bill.
Jeff Catanese is a theater director, actor, and drama teacher who lost all 3 of his jobs in March.
That hit me especially hard.
He has since found temporary work here and there, but has mostly relied on unemployment to survive.
In about 2 weeks, I will no longer have any funding.
That's because during the pandemic, unemployment has been capped at 39 weeks.
So how I get through the winter, I'm actually not sure. There is a part of me that is very worried. However, one thing that is stealing me a little bit is that there are people that I know personally who are a lot worse off than me.
We are getting letters all the time from people who are living in parks, are living in their cars.
Stephanie Freed is the co-founder of the advocacy group ExtendPUA.org. It shows people how to share their unemployment stories and struggles with members of Congress in hopes of pushing them to extend PUA benefits. Freed is also someone who lost her job in March and is about to run out of her unemployment benefits in a week.
I will lose my apartment, but I have people I can stay with. I can go stay with my parents, even though I'm in my 30s, which does not feel great, but I won't be homeless. But millions of people will.
Jeff Catanese, Stephanie Freed, and even her Extend PUA co-founder Grant McDonald are just 3 of an estimated 13 million Americans who will run out of unemployment benefits by the end of the year. And they will do so when federal eviction moratoriums lapse and student loan relief ends.
It's a pretty dire situation.
Elizabeth Pancotti is with Employed America and explains even without congressional action, there may be help for some.
After PUA and PEUC end on December 26th, some of those workers will be eligible to flow on another federal program called the Extended Benefits Program, and that's for states where unemployment is high within the state, and so you'd get an additional 6 to 20 weeks.
The Extended Benefits Program only gets triggered in January, and so far, only people living in these 15 states and D.C. are expected to qualify. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
Well, the Utah PTA launching a campaign aimed specifically at men. Fox 13's John Franke has a look at the importance of this unique message and the impact it could have on Utah's children.
The genesis of this goes back a few years.
Well, Jason, I believe that children are our future.
Right? I mean, teach them well and let them live their way.
This is the video that got it all started.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
That carpool karaoke rendition of a Whitney Houston classic was made for Mapleton Elementary back in 2018.
At that point, we decided, maybe making videos is a good way to communicate with people.
It led Jason Nackis to become the male engagement specialist with the Utah PTA.
I was really trying to think of what could I do video-wise to really draw the attention of men.
To do that, Jason recruited some of Utah's highest profile men.
I knew once I had one of them, I could most likely get all of them.
The head coaches from Utah's 6 biggest college football programs all gladly accepted a role.
The hat selection is a big one, and I thought Kalani sold that perfectly.
This video is all about selling a message Jason believes more men need to hear.
There's just a need, and to get fathers into the classroom is huge.
Jason points to research that shows children flourish inside and outside the classroom when fathers, grandfathers, or uncles are engaged in their education.
I love to get in the classroom and embarrass my kids as much as possible.
A commitment to the PTA can be large or small.
At least one time during the school year. Your kids will remember it forever.
If these coaches inspire more men to join, their impact could be felt for years to come.
We help create a situation where they can be contributing members of society. And maybe they won't be living in your basement in the future.
And Jason adds that due in part to COVID, engagement in the PTA is down this year, and it only costs about $6 to join. To watch that full video, just go to our website at fox13now.com. In Salt Lake City, John Franke, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Early season avalanche danger rating shared by the Utah Avalanche Center. Along the Wasatch, you can see that UAC says there's considerable avalanche danger for Logan, Ogden, Salt Lake, and Provo Mountains areas, where moderate currently standing in the Uintas. Now, new snow from last night's storm in the higher elevations, which means fresh powder in the backcountry. The dangers lie within the snow drifts forming from high winds in some areas. If those fresh slabs are hit, they could trigger an avalanche.
As we are hiking around public lands and close ski resorts, of course, we need to know what that policy is for their uphill travel plan.
Resorts have started to put out their uphill travel policies and keep them in place, like Brighton, who implemented theirs today in hopes of getting runs and lifts ready for the season. Now, each resort will have their own uphill travel plan.
Well, a storm that blew through parts of northern Utah last night. Boy, it really packed some seriously strong winds. We had some wild weather. Here's a view of some of the damage left behind in Taylorsville. Breck, we did see some windy conditions. We saw all kinds of stuff overnight. Seems, though, to be calming down by this evening.
Yeah, it's been a nice afternoon. A little bit on the cool side, but at least across portions of northern Utah, we saw some sunshine. And it does look beautiful with a fresh coat of snow as you look across the mountains, but some of you extreme northern Utah did get some snow up in the valleys. But from this storm, the bulk of the snow up in the higher terrain. Let's take a look. Let's look at this from a photo. This is from Michael Bowman. A mixture of seasons there where you have the fall colors, but a fresh coat of snow. We're up at Alta. They got 14 inches of snow. Near Brighton, it was about 10 inches. So a beneficial storm. And a lot of people like when they just see valley rain and keep the snow up in the mountains, which, again, we have as much trouble with traveling here, at least throughout the valleys. Different story if you had to travel in the canyons earlier this morning. Now, the official high today in Salt Lake City, 43 degrees. On average, we should be in the low 50s. We can look back over the past 7 days as we talk about that mixture of seasons leaning towards winter weather. That's going to be changing, though, over the next few days. Temperatures on the rise and actually getting above normal. Now, we're not heading for the 70s. That's the record for today, set back in 1962. But we'll see temperatures close to 60 degrees for some days. However, there's a little bump in the road with the possibility of some additional snow tonight through tomorrow for some of us. Let's talk about who has the potential of getting hit. Looking at today's high temperatures, though, again, statewide, finding afternoon highs below normal for most spots in the 40s. We did find some 30s like in Price, Logan as well. And we currently stand at 36 degrees in Salt Lake City. Upper 30s in Ogden, stand at 33 degrees in Provo. It's going to be a cool night, hanging on to some clouds, and again, a chance of seeing some snow. Now, from the National Weather Service, we do have a winter weather advisory that'll be in place mainly for the mountains, some of the Wasatch back up through Bear Lake. Now, for the valleys, yeah, you might see some snow in areas such as Logan, Brigham City, maybe as far south as Ogden, but how much? Not much at all. Let's take a look at Logan. Expected snow totals, again, as we look for the next 24 hours, trace to 1 inches in Logan, kind of a 0 to a trace in Ogden, not much in Park City, Evanston, and everywhere else. It doesn't look like we'll get hardly anything at all. Now, we can see a few flurries, it looks like across the south end of Salt Lake Valley here over the next hour or so, but the focus will be across extreme northern Utah. Mountains, though, at least the possibility in Beaver, 6.5 inches, only an inch as we look at some of the Cottonwood Canyons. All right, let's take a look at this next wave coming through. It's bringing some clouds, maybe a few light snow flurries south end of Salt Lake Valley over towards the East Bench. Under this flow, though, we still have some moisture, a little instability, and as we look at that, this little front just clipping extreme northern Utah. That's why we're keeping it confined to Box Elder, Cache County, Rich County, maybe as far south as Ogden, but for most of the Wasatch Front will stay dry. And for central, southern, and eastern Utah, you're enjoying warmer temperatures. So we get clipped with this one, and once we get past this little disturbance, boy, we're going to have a few days where we're not looking at any storms. And again, temperatures back on the rise. So for tonight, extreme northern Utah, there's a chance for some snow. Overnight temperatures dipping down into the 30s, 20s in Provo. Looks like teens in Park City, low 20s in Price. Again, southern end of the Wasatch Front through southern Utah, you're looking at some clear skies. Now, your forecast for tomorrow, well, we're calling for temperatures a little warmer, more in line where we should be for this time of year, 50 degrees in Salt Lake City. Notice the greens and blues. That's the possibility of shower. Again, it's over the higher train, moving up through extreme northern Utah, central, southern, eastern Utah. A nice day on tap. How about 60s in Cedar City as well as in St. George, upper 40s in Price. It's going to be a nice day across southern Utah. Now coming up, we'll take a look at your 7-day forecast showing how warm it will get and when's the possibility of our next storm. That's all coming up.
Breck, thank you. See you in just a couple minutes. Still ahead, see how COVID-19 has prompted some music students in southern Utah to get their work out to the public in a creative way.
And don't forget, you can always watch Fox 13 News live 24/7 for free. You can find us on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV. Just search for Fox 13 on your streaming device and install it today. We'll be right back.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more. I'll take it. I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
Right now, get $1,000 cash back on a new 2021 Tacoma. Or lease a new 4-wheel drive 2021 4Runner for just $319 per month.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hey Utah, Coach Whittingham here. In football, no one player is more important than the team. As players cover their assignment, they expect teammates to do the same. It's working together that makes success possible. Defeating COVID-19 requires a full team effort. Do your part by following local health guidelines to keep a safe distance and properly wear a mask. Because we're all in Utah together. Help us all get back in the game at inutah.org.
It's the season to save big at the Hyundai Thanksgiving sales event. Get great deals on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus, get the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and complimentary maintenance. Can't wait to satisfy your cravings? Then hurry in to the Hyundai Thanksgiving sales event now and feast on the savings.
Get 0% APR for 72 months on the Sonata or up to $3,000 in total savings on the Elantra. Only at your Utah Hyundai dealer.
Who can help your child conquer their orthopedic condition? Shriners Hospitals for Children. Our world-class care is not limited to insurance networks or to what's been done before. We research, we innovate, we do whatever it takes to treat any orthopedic condition and inspire your child to live a great life. Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Car accident with a serious injury? Now, your attorney matters. Call Robert J. DeBryan Associates. Car accident and serious injury cases are all we do. Call or click today for a free case review. Now, your attorney matters. Robert J. DeBryan Associates.
So glad you're spending part of your Saturday night here with us. In your news, from changes to movie theaters to virtually visiting museums, COVID-19 has really changed how we take part in art and entertainment. Fox 13's Haley Higgins now showing us how music students at Southern Utah University are presenting their work during the pandemic.
Southern Utah University students are getting the chance to share the stage with Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and an array of unusual cast members in a unique way.
They got very excited and they laughed about it and they said, "Really? I get to do puppets or marionettes?" And I said, "Yeah." They thought it was a great idea, and they're the ones that really encouraged me to go ahead and do this.
New COVID-19 restrictions force artists in Utah to get creative with how they share their work. And at SUU, students present duets from several operas via live stream, using puppets and marionettes to mix it up, all while singing on stage and staying socially distanced with masks.
I thought and thought about it and wondered, well, how can I make this more interesting than just having people in masks get up and sing, because I think that that's going to be rather boring.
I mean, the goal is to try and keep performing. That's what we are. We're the College of Performing and Visual Arts.
At SUU, faculty say this is the perfect way to teach students valuable lessons, like the ability to adapt in a changing world we live in, thinking outside the box, and so much more.
It feels like arts are needed now more than ever. I mean, people need the release and the perspective of what we're going through. So that's what we're trying to do.
You can watch these performances at the Southern Utah University YouTube page. We have a link on our page, fox13now.com. In Cedar City, Haley Higgins, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Still ahead, the coronavirus surge has gotten so bad that some governors are now urging folks to stay home for the holidays. We're not just seeing a surge here. Coming up, we're going to examine the grim milestones that are happening in some of our neighboring states.
The president's legal battles so far have not found fraud, but they're still creating headaches for Team Biden. I'm Hillary Vaughn in Delaware. I'll have the story coming up.
It's Game Day Live here at Bill and Julie's house, a fan favorite venue ever since they got gig speed internet. Xfinity gives them the ultimate home field advantage. It's their 12th man.
Hey, Amy, you want to grab a seat?
Julie, we're live.
It's game on with gig speed internet from Xfinity.
Start him, sit him, trade him.
Simple, easy, awesome. Get started with Xfinity internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months. Plus, learn about gig speeds from Xfinity. Click, call, or visit a store today.
$1 taco! Call me crispy, I want it spicy. I want a crispy chicken taco and I want it with you. At Del Taco with Cholula. It only costs $1, so give me two. Come on and say Del, yeah!
Crank up the awesome with the Cholula Crispy Chicken Taco, our newest crispy chicken taco for only $1 at Del Taco. Del, yeah.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight.
If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
1 in 8 Utahns struggle with hunger. Smith's is working to change that with their Zero Hunger, Zero Waste initiative. In addition to raising funds for those who need and coordinating efforts to eliminate food waste, Smith's is teaming up with Fox 13 to recognize local organizations in Utah who share that goal. By honoring a Zero Hunger hero each month, we hope to raise awareness and encourage everyone to join the fight to eliminate hunger and food waste. because it'll take all of us to get to zero.
The Model Year-End Sales Event means savings that only happen once a year at your Utah Honda dealers. Rush in and save thousands before the 2020 Hondas are gone. Save more in a new all-wheel drive CR-V, now only $219 a month. Click UtahHondaDealers.com.
President-elect Joe Biden meeting with advisors today as he moves forward with the transition.
But President Trump's refusal to concede the race is slowing down that process. Fox's Hillary Vaughn has the latest.
President Trump exciting his supporters with a motorcade drive-by near the White House. Tens of thousands gathering Saturday in the nation's capital to back the president's efforts to fight the election results. A week after the race was called for Joe Biden, the president's court battles have not yielded any evidence of fraud, but they're still creating headaches for Team Biden. The agency in charge of authorizing the transition has yet to officially recognize him as the winner, denying his staff access to key resources usually provided to the incoming administration.
But with every day that passes, it becomes more concerning that our national security team and the president-elect and the vice president-elect don't have access to those threat assessments, intelligence briefings, real-time information about our engagements around the world.
Despite the delays, the president-elect is getting to work on assembling his staff.
Are you any closer to making a cabinet decision? Yes.
Sources tell Fox Biden is considering former National Security Advisor Susan Rice for Secretary of State. Also on the list, Senator Chris Coons, a longtime friend of Biden and fellow Delaware resident, and Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy. For Secretary of Defense, Department veteran Michelle Flournoy is reportedly a top choice for the position. If picked, she'd be the first woman to lead the Pentagon. A Biden official tells me that under the new administration, the White House daily press briefings will be making a comeback, part of the president-elect's campaign pledge to bring back normal traditions to the White House. In Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Hillary Vaughn, Fox News.
Well, President-elect Joe Biden hoping for more wins in 2 Senate runoff races in Georgia. His agenda including tackling health care, a stimulus plan, and climate change issues. Getting what he wants will be much easier if Democrats take control of the Senate. Maya Rodriguez is in Atlanta, where people know they're in for a politically bumpy couple of months.
For more than 6 decades, Manuel's Tavern has been the spot in Atlanta.
Quintessential political bar.
For people who love politics.
Every election, we've been here.
People like Angelo Fuster, who knew the original owner, Manuel Malouf, who himself got into politics decades ago.
It is a place that a lot of people sort of gravitate to.
And folks will be there again on January 5th because the nation's political attention is now zeroing in on Georgia, where the fate of the U.S. Senate hangs in the balance.
Georgia isn't exactly used to this attention. It's been a reliably Republican stronghold for decades. But in 2020, it's the last of the battleground states, with the final 2 U.S. Senate races held in this election cycle.
In one race, incumbent Republican Senator David Perdue faces Democratic challenger Jon Ossoff. And in the second race, incumbent Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler faces Democratic challenger Raphael Warnock.
For all those Georgians who are tired of the campaign ads, of their mailboxes being flooded with advertisements from campaigns as well, get used to it.
Bernard Fraga is an associate professor of political science at Emory University in Atlanta.
We're going to have another 2 months of both sides, the Democratic and Republican candidates, but also the national parties, nonprofit organizations, mobilization groups, working their hardest to make sure that their campaigns win and that voters are active and engaged.
It's gonna be bananas.
Craig Eberhardt is with Men of Higher Standards, a nonpartisan African-American men's group focusing on voter registration in Georgia, where people can still register through the first week of December. The group shared these photos with us of some of their voter registration efforts from prior to the November election.
For the forthcoming future, Georgia is going to be one of those states that you can't take for granted. You don't have in your back pocket. You're going to have to work to get the vote of the people in Georgia.
Back at Manuel's Tavern,
We don't have a real good record of turning out for runoffs.
Angelo Fuster wonders if this time might be different.
I think that there's that energy.
Because the sun hasn't set on the 2020 elections quite yet. In Atlanta, I'm Maya Rodriguez.
Several states clamping down with new restrictions this week as they try to get a new wave of COVID cases under control. Now, health experts also warning that upcoming holiday travel could make this problem worse. Meredith Wood has a closer look at those new measures now going into effect.
Hospitals stretched thin and COVID-19 cases growing, forcing states to issue strict guidelines.
It's every single major urban area in the country, and it's every state. And the question is, what are we going to do about it?
On Friday, the U.S. shattering daily COVID-19 records with 184,000 cases. Hospitalizations also hitting a new high with nearly 69,000 COVID-19 patients nationwide. Hospitals are fearing overcapacity and rationing supplies.
When that happens, is that it compromises the care that patients receive. Not just patients that are coming in with coronavirus, but patients that are coming in for run-of-the-mill illnesses like heart attacks and strokes.
In New Mexico, a temporary statewide order closing in-person services for all non-essential activities is set to take effect on Monday, with people being asked to stay home except for essential trips. Oregon announced a statewide 2-week freeze starting on Wednesday, which includes limiting gatherings, closing gyms, and allowing only takeout and delivery for restaurants and bars. In Idaho, the National Guard has been mobilized to assist with pandemic-related tasks. And the New York governor is announcing an emergency meeting with the leaders of several Northeast states to discuss a potential brutal COVID-19 winter surge.
It's the first dominoes to fall, and I think that Americans need to be prepared that this is what's coming over the next few weeks.
Health officials urge Americans to limit gatherings and use masks during Thanksgiving celebrations. I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Well, experts blame pandemic fatigue for the current surge as people start to relax their safety precautions a bit. Experts say people who plan to visit family during the holidays should quarantine now ahead of the holiday. Much more for you coming up. A veteran receiving a rare transplant, the first ever in Utah. Hear this incredible story of how this man got a second chance at life.
Before we go to break, just want to share a photo coming in from Chris Williams in South Jordan, highlighting the beautiful sunset. We had clear skies, now we're bringing back the clouds. Are we also bringing back the snow? I'll let you know after the break.
Fox 13's Ben Winslow, part of Utah's #1 news team.
With the ongoing public health crisis, the Young Automotive Group has made it simple to service your vehicle. Introducing the Young Automotive Group's at-home service. Just call any Young Automotive dealership or schedule an appointment online through our at-home service, and we will come directly to your home to pick up, service, and return your vehicle. Call now, and a certified technician will transfer your vehicle to one of our state-of-the-art service bays for important maintenance procedures and bring it right back to your doorstep. Sanitized and ready to go. The Young Automotive Group. Think young, think service.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
This year, our driveways have brought us all closer together and been our gateways to the world. For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. In a year filled with memorable ones, here's to one more. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Get 0% financing on all new 2020 and 2021 Lexus models.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
When it comes to the holidays, some people have a lot of love to give. Like, a lot. Luckily, Smith's has a huge assortment of all your fresh favorites. So givers can keep giving all season long. Smith's, fresh for everyone.
At Intermountain Cancer Center, we know the moment you're diagnosed with cancer is actually a beginning. One best led by decades of experience and compassion. Ahead is a plan with support from your team of unrivaled experts. Those who know that although things look different now, there's a path carved by the countless people we've helped.
Holiday traditions begin with Modern Display. Shop Utah's largest selection of lifelike Christmas trees with the best warranties and the best customer service. So get your tree from us. Modern Display. Lights, trees, decor, ideas.
A veteran here in Utah recovering from one of the rarest surgeries in the United States. It's the first time this surgery has ever been performed in Utah, and as Fox 13's Aaron Cox shows us, it was a second chance at life for this veteran.
Not all battles in life are fought against an outside enemy. For Army veteran Keith Baker, he's been fighting an inside illness that doctors were not sure they could cure.
Because I was denied twice, and I thought I had basically at the last 1 foot in the grave and the other one on a banana peel.
The veteran who once sacrificed so that others may live was now fighting for his life as he suffered from heart failure, kidney, and liver damage. Keith needed a triple transplant, something that had never been done in Utah.
Just to put this in perspective for those folks not familiar with these multi-organ transplants, in the history of looking at this, this is actually the 25th one that has been done in the United States.
The unfamiliarity did not stop doctors from taking on the fight for Keith's life. 3 weeks before surgery, a perfect donor became available, giving Keith all 3 organs.
Each organ needs special care, and that may conflict with the other organ recovering. However, because of the shared experience and the collaborative approach, they were able to manage all 3 organs and successfully allow them to wake up and work.
The veteran whose heart beat for freedom and the pursuit of happiness was now placed in the hands of doctors for a second chance at life and liberty.
I was a mess up when I was younger, and I missed what it feels like to feel good. And now I get a second chance to relive it.
The series of surgeries took hours and multiple doctors from different disciplines, but it was successful. Keith is the first triple transplant survivor.
But the guy had some level of resiliency that is maybe it's his veteran roots, but he could not be denied. And despite some of our initial pessimism, he proved us all wrong.
None of this could ever happen without the miracle I believe I received from my God. He put the skill and the talent into these wonderful doctors, nurses. I'll even include the janitors because everybody had a hand in what had happened.
And that everyone can have a chance to change their heart.
That anything's possible. Put your heart into it. Don't give up. Go in with a good attitude. Don't worry about the small stuff. That's what everybody else gets paid to do. Just try and stay alive.
In Salt Lake City, Aaron Cox, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Wow, what a story. I'm Andrea Urban, and coming up in sports, the Utah State Aggies took the field for the first time under interim head coach Frank Mahle. I've got the highlights coming up. Plus, BYU is 8-0 just for the 4th time in school history. But what's working for them? BYU wide receiver Gunnar Romney tells us what he thinks. That's coming up in sports.
Welcome to Toyotathon.
Hey.
Ready for a great deal?
You know it.
With savings on Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more, it really is the most magical time of the year. Can you pretend you didn't see this?
But I'm seeing it.
Right now, get up to $2,000 cash back plus $500 bonus cash for a total savings of $2,500 on the all-wheel drive Camry, or 0% APR financing for 60 months on Camry.
You never know what you'll find at Toyotathon. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
If I could, maybe I'd give you my world. How can I, when you won't take it from me? You can go your own way.
Xfinity Mobile's fast nationwide 5G network meets the first iPhone with 5G. Get the new iPhone 12 on Xfinity Mobile. And right now, get $250 off. Learn more at an Xfinity store today.
Imagine life in that, or that. Having zero stress. Wasting zero energy worrying. 0 days wanting less seats.
more seats, and 0 regrets. Imagine that. 0 reasons not to get into a Volkswagen, especially now that you can start shopping from home. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Tiguan S4 Motion today with 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 to its signing.
$1 taco! Call me crispy, I want it spicy. I want a crispy chicken taco and I want it with you. At Del Taco with Cholula. It only costs $1, so give me 2. Come on and say Del, yeah!
Crank up the awesome with the Cholula Crispy Chicken Taco, our newest crispy chicken taco for only $1 at Del Taco. Del, yeah.
We're following breaking news just into our newsroom. Utah Highway Patrol reporting a fatal crash on State Route 40 near milepost 46. That's at Strawberry Reservoir. Now, both directions are currently closed. Utah Department of Transportation estimating the crash will be cleared with traffic moving through by around midnight.
Time to talk a little entertainment news right now. If you're already in the Christmas spirit, a new movie's now streaming. It's getting some strong reviews.
I wonder if I've seen it yet. Our Steve Oldfield has this week's list that also features a scary option if you're in that sort of mood.
If you'd rather stay stuck in Halloween mode instead of moving on to Thanksgiving, check out American Horror Story 1984. Some kids from LA leave the big city for the peaceful yet terrifying Camp Redwood. It's the latest installment in the popular series, now on Amazon Prime. Once upon a time. If you're ready to skip Thanksgiving altogether and head right to Christmas, you can catch Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas indeed!
Forrest Whitaker leads a great cast. It's about a tired toy maker who gets new inspiration when his granddaughter comes into his life.
There's something sensational in that.
It scored a 95 out of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes.
People always tell us that young people are going to save the world.
It's hard to think of something I'd hate watching more than I Am Greta, about that teenage climate activist.
It is the most pressing issue of our time.
But for those of you who are fans, word is you'll love this documentary. It's now on Hulu. The new season of The Crown is winning over audiences on Netflix. It features Gillian Anderson from Fox's The X-Files playing Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
All I want is to be loved.
They also delve into Diana and her time captivating the crown and the rest of the world.
Who are you? Star-Lord. Who?
If you feel like venturing out of your house, you can catch the original Guardians of the Galaxy back on the big screen at the Century 16 Salt Lake.
Gamora.
One of several blockbusters making encore performances at theaters across Utah.
Groot.
Steve Oldfield, Fox 13 News, Utah.
All right, time to talk about our weather right now. Here along the Wasatch Front, we've had some wild weather to start off our weekend. But, Breck, you were saying in central Utah, it's been beautiful.
It has been. Central, southern Utah, you got the sunshine. It was a little cool today. You had the impact from the storm, really just bringing some cooler air, but it was beautiful with a lot of sunshine, hardly a cloud around. Want to share a photo coming in. This is actually my son who was up camping down there, Sevier County, at Fremont Indian State Park. This is just east of Cove Fort. Beautiful day. Yeah, there was some snow on the ground, but still an opportunity to enjoy, to get outdoors. And really, as we look ahead, we've got a string of some nice weather here, several days, as we're going to be looking at temperatures above normal. But I mentioned, yeah, we have one little possibility of some snow here, and it's mainly north of Ogden. Tonight through tomorrow, on and off again, light snow showers, and not expecting to see much in accumulation. At least for the valleys, we're talking maybe a trace, at most up in Logan, about an inch of snow, and that's about it. Most of it will be confined to the mountains or the Wasatch back. But again, very little accumulation expected, and again, it's extreme northern Utah that we're talking about. As we look ahead, though, limited precipitation. We're getting out of the storm cycle. So we've been talking about the possibility of hanging your Christmas lights. Yeah, the forecast here over the next several days, green light to get up on that ladder, get those lights up. Kind of made a rule, though, we don't turn on those lights until after Thanksgiving, but many of you already doing it, and why not? Got to give you something to brighten up your day there. Well, as we're looking tomorrow, we're not going to be brightening up your day across northern Utah. Clouds beginning to move in. We're seeing a few flurries out there, even down through the Salt Lake Valley. mostly not even hitting the ground though, but taking a look at temperatures, it's going to be kind of a cool night, but with the clouds around, not quite as cold. Now, we still hold on to this winter weather advisory. We're talking Wasatch back, extreme northern Utah, Logan Canyon towards Rich County. Again, the accumulation's very little, but over the higher terrain, some of the mountains could be picking upwards of 3 to 6 inches, like up in Beaver Mountain. But keeping it away from the valleys and keeping it away for most of the Wasatch Front. Beginning to see the impact of this little next wave. It's very weak, a little instability, some colder air tracking through. We're starting to see some shower activity. It's northwest of Tremont as you make your way over towards Snowville. That tracks to extreme northern Cache County. And again, tomorrow we'll keep that possibility going. So we're not quite letting go of the snow as of yet for at least extreme northern Utah. But the rest of the state, you're enjoying clear skies, sunny conditions, warmer temperatures, and statewide, especially as we move into tomorrow and Monday, we're going to be looking at temperatures above normal. So we just got this little bump in the road as it moves through here tonight. Let's take a look at the computer models. Again, after midnight, we're starting to see that possibility of some snow. We're talking Logan Canyon over towards Tremont. And then Uinta Mountains. It kind of fills in a little bit tomorrow with actually some warmer temperatures. It's rain in the valleys, snow in the mountains, except extreme northern Cache County for a brief period of time. We might see some snow, but you're noticing the green even down through Ogden heading into the afternoon. But by tomorrow night, especially into Monday morning, it's just not a concern thereafter, and we dry things out. So taking a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for most of the Wasatch Front, we're going to be looking at cloudy skies starting off tomorrow morning. Warmer start and warmer afternoon. We're highs near 50 degrees in Salt Lake City, 52 in Provo. We're talking 60s in Milford, upper 50s in Cedar City. Again, central and southern Utah really enjoying the sunshine. We'll hang on to the clouds for the Wasatch Front and that chance of some precipitation with a mixture of rain and snow. Extreme northern Utah. St. George, you're clear, you're sunny, you're liking it. You're liking mid-70s by Tuesday as we'll hold on to the 70s. A little cooler heading into next weekend, but no storms to talk about. Northern Utah, we've got the clouds, more sunshine on Monday. Then we start bringing in some warmer air at 60 degrees. It's 50s on Wednesday. Cooler for the weekend. Could see some mountain showers with a little disturbance rolling through. All in all, though, we're getting more fall weather this week rather in comparison last week where we had winter weather.
The only college football team in Utah playing today was the Utah State Aggies. And as if COVID protocols and regulations aren't enough stress already, today was the first game for Utah State under interim head coach Frank Mahle, who replaced Gary Anderson last week. Now, Aggies are looking for their first win this season, so let's go to Logan. Aggies hosting the 2-1 Fresno State Bulldogs under interim head coach Frank Mahle early on. It's Utah State who makes the first move. Jalen Warren, he breaks away from the pack, turns on the Jets 86 yards all the way to the house to put the Aggies on the board first. PAT no good, so it is 6-0. Now later in the first, Fresno State answers. Jalen Cropper diving over the line with the extra point, so it's the Bulldogs lead now. But the ensuing kickoff return, Savon Scarver slices and dices his way to pay dirt. 94 yards for the Aggie senior. Love the energy and the confidence from this Utah State team. And now it is 13-7. But it wouldn't stay that way for long, folks. Fresno State starts running up the scoreboard with two big plays. Here's Jake Haener sending a 71-yard bomb to Josh Kelly. And the Aggie defense couldn't get to him. USU is now 0-4 on the season, falling 35-16 to Fresno State. Coach?
Obviously wasn't the outcome we expected. I thought we started the game super strong with special teams. You know, the goals offensively was establish the run game. And second to that goal right there offensively was protect the football. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do a good job with that, and we continued to put the defense on the field too many times. So we got to be better. We got to be better coaches. We got to coach this a little bit cleaner. I thought there were some positives there of things we needed to establish that we hadn't been able to do this year. Moving forward, it's going to be a short week for us moving into Wyoming, but I think there's positives there that we need to move forward and carry that to continue to catapult us forward to where we need to be.
All right, the 8th-ranked BYU football team has a bye this week, and they'll face North Alabama next. But stepping back and taking a look at the 8-0 Cougars, what is it that's working and translating into success? Well, junior wide receiver Gunnar Romney pointed out that this group of guys is the closest team that he's ever been a part of.
It's been such a fun season, and the fact that we've even been able to put together a schedule and play as many games that we have. You know, we always talk about how big of a blessing it is that we're one of the only teams that's played as many games as that we have. Even when we have only a couple fans in the stands, it's been so fun. I was talking with a bunch of dudes a couple of days ago, and we were just saying how this team has been one of the most close-knit teams I've ever been on. Like, the brotherhood that we have is unreal. And so it's been so fun playing this year. Just the bond that we've all had. It's been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun indeed. Now, due to darkness, today wrapped up round 2 and 3 of the Masters. Par 5, 15th hole. Tiger sinks a long birdie putt to move to 5 under after his second round. Now, in round 3, he bogeyed on the 8th hole and dropped back to 4 under, shooting an even 72 and would be 5 under after round 3. Now, Dustin Johnson, the master of the Masters, par 4, 7th hole. DJ with the monster shot that bounces toward the hole. He birdied easily for the score of 14 under, and he currently leads the tournament after round 3 at 16 under. And Tony Finau finished round 3 at 1 under in the middle of the pack. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 Cyber Cash on most SUV models to get $5,250 total cash allowance on most 2020 Equinox models. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
In Utah, we know the importance of family. Your family plays an important role in slowing the spread of COVID-19. We understand that this pandemic will not last forever, so as many return to work, school, and other activities, please wear a mask. It helps protect your family and strengthens Utah's economy. Learn how we can work together at inutah.org/healthy.
What are you doing?
I'm getting geared up to go buy the new Honda.
We don't have to go out. We can just get it online.
Buying a new Honda is easy. Simply customize vehicle options, calculate your monthly payment, get your trade appraised, schedule an at-home test drive, and purchase all online.
They can deliver it too.
Oh, well, that's good.
Find your nearest dealer at utahhondadealers.com.
Hi, I'm Robert Christian, local owner of Renewal by Andersen. We make window replacement an easy process from start to finish. Get peace of mind with our exclusive FiberX materials, endless color and style options, and one of the strongest warranties in the business. Save big with our fall savings sale. $299 off per window, $799 off per patio door, plus no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Call today.
Renewal by Andersen. We love our new windows.
Welcome to Toyotathon.
Hey.
Ready for a great deal?
You know it.
With savings on Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more, it really is the most magical time of the year. Can you pretend you didn't see this?
But I'm seeing it.
Right now, get up to $2,000 cash back plus $500 bonus cash for a total savings of $2,500 on the all-wheel drive Camry, or 0% APR financing for 60 months on Camry.
You never know what you'll find at Toyotathon. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Utah house buyers will buy your house or multifamily rental property, or they'll make your payments.
We genuinely help sellers that are in difficult situations, need to get out of a home quickly or in creative ways.
It's very satisfying on my end to be able to help and build a solution that works with their particular problem.
We're able to solve very unique situations, very hard situations, and honestly in a very short amount of time.
Reach out, we'll work with whatever situation you're in.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in New York's Rockefeller Center, one of the most famous symbols of the holiday season, arriving at its home today. The 75-foot Norway spruce was trucked into the city and lifted into position by crane. Crews will spend weeks decorating the tree ahead of its unveiling at the big tree lighting December 2nd. No spectators, though, thanks to COVID this time around.
Thanks for watching Fox 13 News at 9. Don't go anywhere. QuickCast is coming up next. Have a good night.